Again. Um, Today I wanted to have a discussion with you guys about ancestral, hoodoo, and dreams, and and just have a basic conversation about this root working and the root working culture, and answer some questions and things like that. Um, for the most part, for the most part, we've been ascertaining information on our ancestral roots and heritage, and trying to find out what's going to work for us. You know what I mean? One of the main questions that I've been getting about ancestral root work and about working in hoodoo, working in roots, is the question about, how do I communicate with my ancestors? Because there's a lot of different perspectives, and trust me, the perspectives are needed. You know what I mean? Because everybody comes from different lineages. Like I've always said, root working and hoodoo is about the amalgamation of the different cultures that mix together in your locality. You know what I mean? So if you're from Alabama, it's about the tribes that were brought to Alabama and what they mixed and matched together to make their brand of hoodoo, and their cultural perspectives emanated from that. Um, so for the most part, when we look to practice or find out what works for us, we got to go straight in. We have to go straight within. And communicating with the ancestors is about that. It's about going within us and pulling out those ancestral messages and awakening. And I had a brother ask me this week, like, medicine man, how do I awaken my pineal gland? And that was a good question, because within the African paradigm that root working and hoodoo was even based on, there is a science of awakening the pineal gland. There is a science of it. You know what I mean? And the science of awakening the pineal gland deals with more than just root work, more than just magic. It deals with more than just occultism. Um, it deals with more than even meditation. Awakening the pineal gland is about eating the proper foods to create the kind of environment for the chemicals in your brain, for the chemicals and enzymes and hormones in your blood to become fully activated. You know what I mean? You have to eat the right foods. Now we look online and we see all kind of different explanations about alkaline foods, living foods, the importance of eating fruits and vegetables, and what the vitamins and minerals within these fruits and vegetables can really actually do for us. You see what I'm saying? And that's just from a health perspective. But from a magical perspective, what can fruits and vegetables do for our cellular body? Cellular body. Not just our body, our cellular body. Because deep within the cells of the body is where energy is held. You know what I mean? And what we mean by that is that your cells hold what scientists call bioelectric energy. Okay? Now, what our ancestors call this energy from different cultures, they call it the raw force in one culture, they call it the kundala, the kundalini in another culture, in other cultures, in Indian culture. You see, so there is explanations in the snake. And when we look at the Bible and we see about the serpent in the Bible, where it says the serpent was on the tree, when we do the research, we find that that tree in the original Hebrew text is called the Kabbalah. The Kabbalah. Was that tree that the serpent was on. So it's metaphysical. That tree was a tree of life. What is the tree of life? The tree of man. So we awakening that energy, that serpent energy that goes up the tree. Same thing we find on the caduceus on the back of the EMSs, the ambulances. And that's called a caduceus, where you see the snake intertwined, two snakes intertwined around the medical seal. And that was a sign of Hermes, a sign of thought in ancient Kemet, in ancient Egypt, where it was known, it was a known fact that these people had the science to heal. And the science to heal is the science of magic. You can't perform any kind of magic. You can't perform any kind of witchcraft if your body is not in the right cellular state, meaning that your cells must be fully energized. You see? Because where did this conscious energy, where did this raw force energy? Where did this kundalini, this naga energy that rises up within us, this ancestral force, where does it come from? It's already here, right? Right. But we have to magnify it. And the way that we magnify that energy within us is through nature. But how? Do we venerate nature by putting fruits by trees and lighting candles? It's one way. The second way, the most absolute way to venerate nature, is to eat the proper foods from nature that's good for you. Meaning your intake from nature should be of a high level. Your intake from nature should be of a nutritious nature. Why? Because as you in tune with the natural forces spiritually, you want to in tune with the natural forces internally by eating the medicine. You see? Which energize your cells in your body, and your cells all hold consciousness. All of the cells in your body hold consciousness. The cellular memory that's in your brain, your past, your present, your future, your memories, your thoughts, everything that's here is all over your body. Your whole body holds memory. Your whole body holds energy. So when we tap into that and we put that in its proper perspective, when we energize our bodies by eating the right foods, when we energize our mind by thinking the correct or proper thoughts, when we energize our bodies by acting out in the right way, trust me, I'm guilty of that too, then we raise the ancestral energies within us. We raise that raw force energy within us. We raise that kundalini energy within us. We raise that naga energy within us. You see? It's the balance. So while we venerate nature from an external ritualistic perspective, by placing fruits and certain specific vegetables and specific things for the spirits with candles or whatever we're doing out in nature to venerate nature, we need to be consuming the foods. We need to be eating the things that's healthy for our bodies, because this is how we further in tune ourselves with nature. Okay? It's how we further in tune ourselves. Any questions? Anybody got any questions? Let me look at my feed and see if we got any questions out there. Let me see. There we are, right there. All right, so I have no questions out there. But that's what I wanted to elaborate on for the definitely to give people an understanding on the balance that we should have with our magical ritual practices and our health practices. You know, Chakwa Printing, I am located in, at the moment, I am located in DC. I'm in Maryland. Let me see, Yamoja Blue. Okay, time for you to get that cookbook out. You know, I wanted to do an alkaline foods cookbook. You know what I mean? Or deal with some alkaline foods, because, like I say, with our bodies, you know, a lot of us we just don't realize the importance of having a very strong cellular nature that's in tune with our magical workings. You know what I mean? I'm the type of person that I say, you know, I don't talk bad about nobody, but it's all about if you're overweight and you're unhealthy from a physical perspective, then it's harder from a consciousness perspective to exert the kind of energy that you really need to project outwardly, because your body is consuming so much energy internally. I'm not saying that it can't be done, but I'm just saying if you want to put yourself in the best possible position to win magically, and if you're trying to do that magically, then you would definitely want to take care of your health in a way that your health is, you know, balanced. It's balanced. Because like I said, I know plenty large people. Trust me, I know large people that are extremely healthy. I know this guy who's a martial artist. He's like an 8th Dan in karate. And dude is like huge, fat, fat guy, you know what I mean? You be like, oh man, you know, you bust up. And this dude can do split karate kicks and all kind of like, whoa. I underestimate that. So, you know, physical appearance could definitely be deceiving. But it's all about you exercising, one, and having the right diets, because your diet plays a lot in your magical working. You know what I mean? When you're projecting energy out, you need the energy within you to be right to project out. But if you're eating a bunch of whole head cheese and drinking bottles of grease through all of the fried this and fried that you've been eating, what ultimately happens is that your heart working harder, your bloodstream working harder, your blood is full of grease. Um, I just don't see from a magical perspective, you know, even from a scientific perspective, how you going to even have energy with a body full of grease? You're going to be feeling slumped and lumped. How you going to do magical work? You see? So part of doing really strong magical work is all about having your body and your energy level right. Not just a Red Bull, you know what I mean? More like a green smoothie, you know, more like a green smoothie. And those things like kale, spinach, broccoli, you put those things with cucumbers and lime juice, and different types. I use a lot of cinnamon and honey, turmeric, um, and ginger in my smoothies and my drinks, and then papaya, watermelon. The list can go on with me. Banana, peanut butter, almonds, almond milk, a little bit inside, you know, coconut water, coconut milk. All of those things have properties that's antibacterial. They have properties within them that energize the body, that cleanse the bloodstream, that deals with arthritis and bones and joint pains, and blueberries and stuff like that there too for arthritis, and cherries and stuff like that for bone pains. And I would put all of these things in my smoothies, and I drink at least one or two a day. That's what I normally do. And sometimes I miss a day or two, you know. Sometimes I miss a week. But then I'll make up the next week because I drink smoothies every day that week, probably twice, 3 times a day, to compensate for that. See? So when we think about our energy levels, most definitely, we got to think about what we consume. Definitely what we consume. All right, J. Ro, I'll be down in Carolina soon, man. Let's look at some of these questions. What is a good ritual to calm all the aggression fire in my chart? Um, well, you know, one thing that calms fire is water. You know what I mean? So you want to implement a lot of water type rituals into your life, and invite the water spiritual energies into your life, because those things could actually cool off a lot of the fiery nature. I'm an Aries, you know what I mean? I deal with a lot of fire. Y'all got to excuse me, I got my pajamas on. Slide to the side, y'all. Don't check me out like that. But it's all about the energies, man. And when you deal with the water energies, you have to do a lot of water like rituals, you know, and stay away from the fire. You know what I mean? Stay away from the fire, man. And even if that means lighting candles. A lot of people like to light candles, man. I heard a very horrific, terrible story about a YouTube witch who lost her life in a house fire. And I've always, you know, just kind of pretty much don't like sleeping with candles lit, and because the moon at night, the moon is governed by water. You know, the water and moon goes hand in hand. So the sun and fire goes hand in hand. And for that purpose of me just kind of basically living by that perception, I don't light candles and leave them lit while I'm at sleep at night, because of the fact that the night is governed by the moon, and the moon is, you know, kind of governed by the water. And so for respect for my water spirits that roam at night, I personally don't light candles, man, and at night and sleep. Just for that reason, spiritually, and then the safety reason. I've been in a house fire myself, and I can tell you that it's no joke. It's no joke, and I've learned my lesson from then to not light fires and leave things lit at night. It's just a good perspective for me, and I deal with water spirits. I got water spirits all over me. My spirits don't like that anyway. They never did like it. So I would tell you, J. Rowe, if you want to eliminate the fire energy out of your life and kind of minimize that fire energy out of your life, you should definitely deal with the water spirits. And I encourage everybody to work with the water spirits at night. Do not leave candles lit at night for no reason. I don't care what spiritualists tell you that. It's always about safety. Always about safety. And we have family and kids and things like that. It's just, um, don't light candles. I don't care what the spirits say or what they say the spirits say. You have to think about safety. Sometimes you think you're talking to your guardian spirit and you're talking to a jackass spirit who's trying to set you up for a drive-by. Um, and I'm just saying, because I communicate with spirits all the time. I hear good messages, and then I also hear messages that ain't right. You know what I mean? And for that reason, as we develop our psychic skills and our psychic abilities, we have to determine within ourselves what are we communicating with, because sometimes that could be a hard problem too. That could be a hard thing to do too. As you hearing spiritual voices, you seeing spiritual things happen around you, and it's like, are these my guardian spirits trying to forewarn me about something? Are these my guardian spirits communicating with me? Or are these some random spirits that just running through pretending to be my guardians? And if I'm not skilled enough to understand a message that's coming from my guardian or the words of my guardian spirits versus the words of a random spirit, then I can get caught up. I can get caught up, or you can get caught up following the advice of a random spirit, thinking it's your guardian spirit or one of your ancestral spirits. You see? So that's why when yes, right, we have to use that level, the high level of discernment. And it's not even it's even more than discernment. You have to know the nature of your ancestral spirits, and this is why we build relationships with them, because when they start to manifest themselves to us, they manifest themselves to us in a certain specific way. It's just like if your mama or your daddy has been known to call you every day at 8 o'clock in the morning. It's clockwork. It's like when that phone ring at 8 o'clock. Oh, that's my shit. That's my mama. Hey, mama, what's up? That phone ring. That's your daddy. Hey, daddy, what's up? You don't even have to look at it, because you have the understanding that this 8 o'clock phone call is directly. I know who it is. I understand who it is without even looking. I understand who it is without even hearing that voice. That's the kind of level of discernment you need to know, and that we all need to develop, is that level to where when we hear that voice, we know, oh, this is the spirit. This is my guardian right here. And when you hear that other voice, you be like, no, 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 no. You know what? I'm going to second guess you now. And sometimes we have to do that because when you develop that spiritual gift, that mediumship gift, like I said, you're going to talk to a lot of spirits. And it's like, as a medium, walking through the cemetery is like walking through a crowd of people. You see, and this is what a lot of people don't understand about being mediums. You can walk through a cemetery and it's like you're walking through a crowd of people, and you're hearing voices here, there, voices there, hearing people talk. You see what I mean? And you can, stop and talk to people, and just listen. Not talk, but you can just listen. It's levels to this thing, and this is why I tell people to try to take developing their mediumship ability very serious, because it can really help you out in life. But with every gift there is a curse. Trust me about that part. There's a curse, because sometimes you have such a high level of discernment, a high level of intuition, that you start to see things and you start to know things that you really don't want to know right now. You know what I mean? You don't want to know right now. Sometimes you want to be able to live your life to a level to where something can be a surprise to you. You know what I mean? And as a medium, it's like, as you go through these things, it's more on a level where, like, damn, I already know this was going to happen. Damn, I already know this was going to happen. Damn, okay, I already know. And it's like, all these things going to happen, and you struggle throughout your life to try to change things that you saw was going to happen. But the majority of things that you see taking place or about to happen, you can't even stop it as a medium. You just see it. And that can be um, that could be a very interesting experience for people who have gifts. You know what I mean? And that's one of the things that I try to educate people on and teach people about is maneuvering through your life with a spiritual gift. You know, I'm going to do a video on that solely about maneuvering through your life with a spiritual gift because it's very important to learn how to do it because some of us have awakened gifts and abilities and we have not been able to channel that energy in the right way in our life to make our life more balanced. To, you know what I mean? To draw the type of love and affection that we want to draw in our life, to draw the type of prosperity that we're trying to bring, or establish the type of bonds, relationships, and friendships that we're trying to establish because we don't have a grip on our own spiritual abilities. You see? You know, and that's what it's really about. Developing our own spiritual abilities and tapping into them and, you know, those things. So let me look at some of the answer some of the questions. I'm in DC, y'all. I'm in DC, Maryland, DC area, the DMV. Hit me up if you're in the area. I want to have some private classes and some public classes out there in DC. Just kind of waiting on you guys to come through for that. I do have some online classes. I'll be having Swamp Water Roots Institute up real soon. I'm actually on my Discord. I have a private Discord group. So if people want to join my private Discord group, definitely send me an email to medicinemail21@gmail. And I can add you guys to my private Discord group. We're going to have all of our classes there, live lectures, and just a whole plethora of information that I'm going to put down about the root working culture, working your roots from various different perspectives. You know, I'm a shaman too. You know, we do the shamanism. We working with our Apollo. We just got a whole plethora of things going on, and it's going to be awesome, man. I got some great teachers coming through at the Swamp Water Roots Institute. They're going to come through and help me out, and we're going to do some good things. So, yeah, we going to be up and running real soon. I'll be to Carolina soon, too, J-Ro. Let's see. I'm looking at these messages. Let's see. One nation, yeah, the country's a lie, Anton. You already know, man. We one nation, man. That's why I be rocking my Under Armour, man. Steve Hunter said, what we smoking or we vaping? Nah, Steve, I got a Black and Mild, cuz. It's a Black and Mild, man. You know, this DC, so you know, marijuana is legal. You know, and I would encourage you before you smoke some marijuana, go buy some marijuana stocks. There's some great companies in the OTC market that's blowing up. Medicine Man do a lot of trading too, man. We trade on the stock market. We work our voodoo, we work our hoodoo, we work on our Apollo and the investment field. So trust me, our spirituality is grounded over here. You know what I mean? It's more about being spiritual, but being intelligent. You see what I'm saying? This applies for everybody. You know, we want to definitely do things from a spiritual perspective that makes sense in the physical realm. So if we igniting all of these spiritual energies within us, then what? We want to be able to make decisions that's prosperous for our families. We want to be able to make decisions that's futuristic for our children. Decisions that's prosperous. So when we conjure that energy, we reach out into other realms and where we specialize things in. Like we have people into real estate. We have people into the stock markets. We have people who have their own businesses. And so when we deal with our spirits and our spiritual forces, they bring us messages about investments. Hey, you need to get into this stock right here. You know, spirits start talking like, yo, what do y'all think about Apple? Blah! Nah, I don't buy Apple this week, buy Apple next week after it drops. And then put a play on it and ride it back up. Cool with me. What do you think about Tesla? Hey, Tesla go down, buy some option plays, let Tesla go up, do my readings. Hey, everything good. And this is what we do. And this is what we teach people how to use their life, their social life, their career life, and add their spirituality to it to magnify their levels of right decisions. Because that's what we about. Everybody make bad decisions. Trust me. Everybody make bad decisions. But at Swamp Water Roots, the thing we deal with, The spirits that we call the most intelligent spirits. People like to deal with dark forces. I can hear you, I can dig you. Dark forces do have high levels of intelligence. But the intelligence of dark forces is wicked. Trust me, they get wicked. I'm not saying wicked in the way that, you shouldn't deal with it, because as a occultist, I ain't gonna. We all deal with dark spirits, and for the most part, I just think that doing things such as tapping into the Akashic records is a whole lot safer than standing here trying to talk to a demon who could give me the right information. He has the right information, but he's just such an asshole. It's just like, I wonder if it's going to be right when he, like the struggles we're going to have to go through to get it from this motherfucker. It's just going to be too much. I'd rather just tap into the Akashic records and get this knowledge, this information myself from the spiritual perspective, you know. And that's just something that that I try to teach people about methodologies, you know, because when it comes to methodologies, you definitely, absolutely want to do the right thing at the right time. And this is one of the reasons why people created things such as the planetary times, because that was just the basic general idea of saying, well, do this magical work at this particular time. Do this magical work at this particular day. Those things were in place to get people to understand that there is a place and time for everything. If you understand the nature of what you're dealing with, and then you understand how to apply the nature of what you're dealing with and in tune it with the natural forces of the universe, and you plug in at the right specific time with the right specific energy, then you manifest your goal. That's in all things. Timing is critical to everything, even in magical work. Just because you're mad right now, you need that job right now, don't mean that if you do that work right now, it's going to manifest. You see? The timing. We have to be able to look at the stars. We have to be able to look at the celestial movements. We have to be able to look at the movements within our life. We have to be able to read the signs, the omens that I talk about all the time. We got to be able to read the signs, read the omens, interpret, decipher these signs and omens, figure out what they mean to us and our life, and then apply them to our highest level with no doubt, no failure, no second guessing. We got to apply every principle that we've learned. Because reading the signs and reading the omens is very important. We are externalized people. We've been conditioned to be externalized. And because we conditioned to be externalized, what happens is we always worrying about what's going on around us, and we pay very little attention to what goes on inside of us. That's why we well versed about everything outside. Like there's some of you who know everything about love and hip hop. There's some of you who know everything about every Facebook beef going on. There's some of us who know everything about the statistics of every basketball, football game ever. But when it comes to answering questions about why we feel the way we feel, you don't fucking know. You don't know. You feel all fucked up and don't even know why you feel that way. But you got all the facts from everything else. You know how they say Google it. Know what I mean? Google it. But then when you Google it, you got the information on all the other stuff, but Google ain't gonna tell you nothing about you. Nothing, not a thing. Because you learning you is about your own self-observation. And when you observe yourself, you have to be critical. You know what critical mean? Critical about yourself mean you gotta recognize your mistakes and own them shit. You got to own your mistakes. Because if you don't own your mistakes, what's going to happen is you're going to fool yourself into continuously committing those same mistakes all over again. You see? You're going to fool yourself to keep committing those same mistakes because you never owned it. You made an excuse for it. You know, you make an excuse for what you do, then you never own it. You got to be like, oh, you know what? Look back at it and be like, damn, I did do that. I really did do that. And you have to own it. You know what I mean? And once you accomplish that level of ownership in your life and owning what you do, owning how you think, and you set the path for you to elevate. Oh yeah, Antoine. Oh yeah, Antoine. A lot of things people post online is a false representation. And trust me, everybody human. Everybody human. You know what I mean? And people put things out there about themselves that ain't true, and then people struggle to get themselves together. You know what I mean? You know what I mean? You dig? Right, 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 right. Do you? All right. If that's about everything, a Bible verse. You know, there's a lot of Bible verses out here. Sean DeMiles, about protection. About protection. Let me go grab mine real quick. I'll be right back. Y'all hold tight. All right, I'm back. I'm back with it. I'm back with it. Um, and you asked me about a verse, man. And see what dealing with fire do for you. And trust me, and that's why I stay away. Now the reason I stay away from candles. Stay away from candles. And that happened on, and this happened on my altar. Definitely happened on my altar also. So, and this is why I tell people stay away from candles. I actually, I actually, I trying to read the mess at the same time. I actually left a candle burning on here, man, and ooh wee. When I came back, it was smoking. And let me tell you something. I don't do that no more. No more. I don't even put no candles on my altar. None, none, none. I use my lamp. I going back old school, and I use my hoodoo lamp. You know what I mean? Um, you know what I mean? But I do get some good ass shade from this Bible. So let me look, and I got some verses marked, man. Some protection verses that I have marked. Check that with for demons. All right, I checked that one. I checked that one there, Anton. Let's see. There's so much different protection verses in the Bible, man, and a lot of people like to go to the Book of Psalms. I do use the Book of Psalms. Um, yeah, I got ashes and ashes on this one here, man. But I use the Book of Psalms, but I use the Book of Judges also, and the Book of Deuteronomy. Let's go. Do. And we get down. Hold up. I'm looking for the verse. I got it marked. Let me see. I think it's here. See, you got the brown paper in the Bible, you know. Y'all know how to use the brown paper in the Bible? Y'all paying attention to that? Somebody out there know how to use brown paper bag in the Bible with Bible verses? I'm looking. I'm waiting on somebody to say something. No? How? All right. That's what I do. That's what I do. Tell us. Brown paper. All right. Brown paper. I got to go get some brown paper because I only got a little piece right there. Let me see. Let me look around. I'm looking around. Let me go grab me some brown paper. I'll be right back. So what y'all do for me real quick, grab your pencil and your pad. And I'm going to show y'all something light. And it's about prosperity. It's about prosperity, and how you can do certain things to just draw some good energy to you with using the Bible. And trust me, my Bible is burnt. I mean, I've been putting in some work, but I'm gonna show y'all some things, and even burning Bible pages. Cause trust me, after my Bible burned, I took some of the ashes out of it and I put it into some powders and did some work with it, and poof, whoa, it's like, yeah, I like that. I like that. You know what I mean? So we gonna politic on this when I get back. Just give me a second. Yeah, y'all, I back. I'm back at it. All right, let me see. Let me answer this question. Right, I thought I saw a question real quick. What is I don't know why my this screen is just crazy, yo. Cause it like I be trying to look at the comments and check y'all comments. There you go. That Bible though. Yeah, I know y'all laughing at my Bible. All right. Say big cakes on the Bible. All right. I like how you see the magic in every single thing. Yeah. You know this. You have to be a magical person. You know it's magic in everything. So what I did, right? I went and got this powder I got, and I'm gonna show it to you guys, but I don't want to show my pajamas or anything. So let me do this here. I want to show this to you. I want to show that to you. This is some powder and whatever I got. Can't tell you everything, but I had it for like this one here. I've had this powder here for like months, and don't laugh, man. I just wake up. Don't laugh. But I had this powder here for months. And these sticks comes from New Orleans, from a tree in New Orleans that's about 800 years old. You know, so we went down to New Orleans and we collected a lot of natural elements from the trees and different dirts and some kaola clay straight from the place. You know, nice, man. That white dirt that comes from there, and we gather those elements and ingredients, and it's real powerful, man. Because we have to look at it too. There's a lot of trees, and even in South Carolina, North Carolina, Alabama, Mississippi, all over the United States, that were public hanging places for enslaved Africans. And because our blood are on those trees, and we understand the spiritual significance, how powerful the tapping into nature is through trees. We use those elements in our magic to make it very, very extremely ancestrally strong, at least from our perspective. So here we go. I got some brown paper. What's going on, V? What's up, Vincent? I got some brown paper. So let's say, you know, in this brown paper, brown napkin, trust me, either way. So let's say we got somebody, and this is just quick. Because I got so many different, it's so many different ways you can do things. And trust me, it's about the natural flow of energy, and I'm gonna just give y'all this real quick. I keep my stones in the windows, some of them, to collect light, the sunlight, to absorb the light of the sun. So we would take something like this. Okay, let's say we're trying to draw a person back. Sorry, y'all, had a person call me while I'm online. If you online and you're watching me, please stop calling me. Trust me, it interrupts the video. But for the most part, we use things like pyrites, magnets. You know, they draw in. But you got to be careful what you draw in. So it's a part of mental programming, one. when you work in some kind of magic that's outside of using the spirit. It's part of mental programming. So it's like if you program this stone mentally to receive and pull in the energies that it's already naturally programmed to do, but it's programmed to pull in specific type of energy. So right now we pulling in this protection. We want to pull in protection. So we're going to write the person name that we want protected here. Okay, we're going to use protection elements. Now there's a lot of different elements for protection. We're using this to magnify it. There's a lot of elements of protection. In this case, let's say we're using the ancestral power, the ancestral force, and we communicated with our ancestors. We've done readings and everything we've done necessary for us to know that we can take this stick and add it to the work. Why? Why? We need protection, right? And we calling on our ancestors to protect us, right? This tree is part of an ancestral heritage where people were actually lost their lives. So the blood of our ancestors is on this tree. Okay? So now, we take it here. We put these things together, put the person name on it. We're going to add some prosperity powder. Let's say we add prosperity powder or whatever. And this is just a mock, not the real deal, ritual. So we're going to we put the prosperity powder in it. And let's say we have essential oils. When I doing specific work for, let's say protection, we doing this protection work. I got some Palo Santo here. So I'm going to smoke it with the Palo Santo. Get my lighter. Let's get this going. And remember that we write the person's name on this brown paper. And then in the end, we're going to pray our psalms over it. And it's just a gradual flow. See, having a magical mind, right? When you got a magical root working mind, it's like, what's available? You know, I got this Palo Santo. I need to smoke it. So now, you're smoking with the Palo Santo. See? Now is when you calling on your ancestral forces. You calling on your ancestral forces. You praying the Psalms. And let me get to the Psalms. And we doing this protection work, right? So let's say let's go to Psalms 7. We doing this protection work. You know, you want to do some work to protect your kids or whatever. My son, pay close attention and don't forget what I tell you to do. Obey me and you will live. Let my instructions be your greatest treasure. Keep them at your fingertips and write them in your mind. Just that verse right there, you repeat that a couple of times. My son, pay close attention and don't forget what I tell you to do. Obey me and you will live. Let my instruction be your greatest treasure. Keep them at your fingertips and write them down in your mind. That's a protection spell. Protection work. Because you want your child to think in a good way. You want the words that you deliver into your child to sink in. Because that's that good advice that you're giving them. So you want to protect them from making bad decisions. And you smoke, tie it. If you want to fire up a cigar, put some ashtray on it. Put an ashtray on it. You can do it various ways. You can blow some liquor on it. Trust me, hold on. It's one way. You can blow smoke on it. Now you can blow smoke on it. Now, what do you do with this protection work? A good advice for people that when they make protection work, simple. This is very simple protection work. You know what you do? I go hang it over my door. Hang it over the doors. Over the door sill, up top. Over the door. Hang it over the door. Protection. Simple. It's very simple protection work that could be effective. Trust me, when people cross your door, your door sill and their mind and their spirit ain't right, it'll instantly come to you. Your spirits will actually jump on it and let you know. That is something simple. That is hoodoo. You know what I mean? It's not about all about what I'm using. It's about the level of spiritual force that I placed into it. Now, what I'm using is some real deep elements, and it's not much. It's not 25 list of ingredients. It's me tapping into the basic fundamental nature of a pyrite stone, which is a magnetic stone that pulls things in. And we pulling in protection. We pulling in good spirits. We pulling in the ancestral forces that we got from the elemental force, from the sticks that come from the tree in New Orleans, from the elements of the different organic ingredients that we placed in here. Natural ingredients. Some of the ingredients are actually live herbs, live roots grounded down. And certain things were done to them so that by the time I go to use it, they're fully charged. Set under moon's phases, sun phases, ocean phases, river phases, the whole nine. And right there and there, Psalm 7, and it's 7-1. 7-1. For children, especially if you got sons, pray that my son pay close attention to me. And don't forget, I will tell you what to do. Obey me and you will live. My instructions will be your greatest treasure. Because a lot of times some of us have children that don't listen. The ears like this. You see? And for the most part, we want to be able to deliver a conscious message to our children, and we still want our children to be able to receive it with high levels of intelligence. Y'all give me a second. Let me close the door. They're cutting grass. Close the window. There you go. They're cutting grass out there. So any more questions, man? If y'all got any questions for me, I'll take it. I am open to the questions. All right, Shonda. And Shonda, if you need any more tips in reference to that, email me at medicinemale21, and we can kind of discuss some things you're doing on the protection level, because it'll help you out. It'll help you out. I think so. Yeah, Patricia, you already know. And I got some of these books over here. I got a book for you, Patricia, Heath, too. So hit me up and let me get that to you. Let me see. Do you use red brick dust? Of course I do. When classes start? My classes, okay. Once again, anybody who want to join my class, send me an email at medicinemale21@gmail. What we are doing is I have a private Discord group. When you send me the information about your class, I'm going to send you a link to join my private Discord group. In this group is we're going to have live telephone conference, videos. It's Swampwater Institute private group. And I'm giving people the time to come in the group and see what we're going to be doing. And we're going to be having classes. We're going to be, listen, medicine man don't like the internet. I'm going to tell you that at the top. I old school. I would rather you meet me down there in Savannah, Georgia, and let's go to work down there. I'd rather you meet me at the Pyramid Mounds. I'd rather us do boot camps, and this is where I'm going. I want to have events set up to where people can come and we all can learn together, and I can show you some things, and we can definitely get busy. You say, okay, so you going to do live work again, like in the cemetery? Yeah, I mean, I don't do live work. I go live in the cemetery. I don't necessarily show my work, because if I get on the internet and just show people what I'm doing hand for hand, step for step, it wouldn't make any sense to me. But I teach people how to awaken their own, it's like, the cemetery is like, with me, more say, I've been born and raised, it's natural for me, I swear, man. I mean, a lot of people think I be trying to just, think I'd be on some ego shit, but it's natural, man. When you've been playing football in the cemetery when you've been little, when you used to swim in the graveyard pond when you was young and little, and you work your roots and stuff, man, it's like those things that would naturally cause fear in other people, they don't cause fear in me. You know what I mean? Because I was raised around that environment. Like when I look out my mama window, all I can see is graveyard and tombstones because that's how close we lived. Like my window's right here. My window right here. When I looked out of it, nothing but graveyard. You know what I mean? So it wasn't like I was introduced to going into the cemetery. I was actually raised in an environment. We used to play in the cemetery. The cemetery was the shortcut to the corner store. You know what I mean? And it was nothing second nature. So when I started developing my root work, it was like, I was already there. So when I say, I go in the cemetery and I do certain things because I have a certain level of knowledge. Yes, Sunday, you can purchase the book on Amazon. It is on Amazon, Working Them Roots. Yes. Thank you. Do I eat meat? Man, I'm getting all these questions. I eat meat, yes. I'm a Geechee Gala. Yeah, of course I eat meat. You know what I mean? But in a healthy from a healthy perspective, I don't consume large amounts of meat. I keep my consumption of meat down to about under 3 pounds, 3 pounds per week. You know what I mean? I keep it under 3 pounds of meat a week, at all costs. And only meat I eat is chicken and a little bit of beef. I don't eat pork. Exotic meat, I might eat some gator tail. I can't even help it. You know what I mean? If you come through some good coon, I might eat some coon too, some deer. You know what I mean? So, I don't. I'm just geeky, man. I can't help myself. But I don't drink. I don't drink, man. The most I drink is when I blow I blow my liquor, my alcohol on my spirits, man. But I don't drink. Um, you know. So I keep my body and my mind kind of good, man, for the most part. But trust me, in my personal life, man, on the internet life, I'm medicine man. You know what I mean? In my personal life, I'm me. You know what I mean? So I have faults just like everybody else, and we all struggle through our faults and try to combat that, man. You know what I mean? It's a life challenge, man. That's why I teach people from my perspective on the things that I've conquered, on the things that I've mastered. I teach people about that and pass that advice on. Because as I go this way, I'm still learning. I'm still fumbling the ball a million times, trying to figure out certain realities for myself. So let's see if we got any more questions out there. Um, do you believe in jinns? Man, Vincent, when you asked me that, somebody just actually asked me that this morning about about the jinns. Um, Jinns are real. They come from the Arabian tradition for the most part. They highly mentioned in the Arabian traditions as spirits that in the Quran and from the King Solomon literature, the keys to King Solomon. They talk about working with the jinns and the 72 fallen spirits and those things. It is very real. The Goetia, the keys of King Solomon is some powerful magic. Yes, it is. I work with that also myself. Yeah, very powerful magic, man. Wouldn't doubt it. Yes, the Goetia. Go ahead. Important stuff, man. It's important stuff. Very ancient magic, man. And I was actually, I was contemplating like having a class on the Goetia, but I didn't want to do a class on the Goetia with people who didn't understand magic at all. So I kind of canned it because you definitely need to have a certain level of understanding to work with the Goetia, and I would reserve that for experienced people. Let's see what else we got out there. Oh yeah, you're right. You're right. You're right, Vincent, man. Let's look at this other. Queen of the Crossroads said, "Is there a picture of our ancestor necessary to put on the altar?" I don't have one of my grandmother, but I am working on creating. Yeah, having a picture on your ancestral altar would only it only gives a representation. So you have to remember our ancestors live within us. You see, so the picture is just a representation, an external representation of an image of that ancestral force or that ancestral spirit. You know what I mean? Like it's not necessary to be there. It's a connection between you psychically, you know, with that. But by the same token, you don't have to have a picture. Let's say you got a dress. Let's say you have a shirt that belonged to your ancestor or some other object that belonged to them you can place on the altar. Or let's say you have nothing at all. Let's say you have nothing at all. How do we solve that problem? Okay, what you do, and what I recommend, is you go to the grave, you buy them a gift. And you go to the grave and you present the gift to them. You let it stay there for a certain specific amount of time. You do specific things with it. You get a reading done on it by a professional. And then we go and we take that and we place that on the ancestral altar because this object was given to your ancestral spirit as a gift. They accepted the gift and you brought the gift and brought it back on the altar as a resting place. And that's how we would solve the problem of not having items. You know what I mean? Not having physical items from your ancestors and you building an altar. You know, and I'll go over that with a lot of you guys about that because there's ways around it. If you're adopted, you don't know your family. You know, there is a way around that too because there's a whole different understanding when you're adopted and you don't know who your biological family are. You know. Okay, Queen says, I don't have things that belong to my grandmother personally, but I know things that she liked, and I have purchased things she used. Like, okay. Yeah, and you can do that. And you can purchase things that you use. I just would say, from my perspective only, you know, my word is not gold, but from my perspective, I would take the actual item that I bought to her grave. If I could, take it to her grave and present it with an offering to her. You know what I mean? And then place it on your altar. You know, get a reading done in between, you know, to find out if that offering is absolutely accepted. And you work from there. You know what I mean? You work from there. Say, I am Hindu and we always set up ancestral altars for our dead and we pray to them along with our gods and our spirits. I like the similarities between all non-Abrahamic religions. Yes, yes, yes. And that's interesting, man. I'm Vincio. And you know, one day we should get together and talk about the similarities between the Hindu culture and the ancestral altars on the Hindu culture and Hoodoo. I think that would be a great comparison to do, man. Comparison study. Chakwa says, do you think burning spirit money is good to do? Ancestral money, I don't like, yo, let me tell you something. Ancestral money has nothing to do with Hoodoo. Not in my perspective. I'm just saying. If when we working with money, there is a methodology to it. It's not about burning ancestral money. It's about what spiritual messages are you injecting into the cosmos. You know, by burning fake money. Because to me, there is no difference between burning the so-called fake ancestral money and burning monopoly money. That's in my world. In real Hoodoo, and the people who understand like the deep natures of the root working culture, we used a lot of pennies, quarters, dimes, actual money, coins, actual money in the root working. The old root workers would take their pennies and put holes in the pennies, and they would make charms, bracelets, anklets, different things what they would make with the pennies and the dimes and the quarters. So from that perspective, we come to the realization that when we work with money, it has to be realistic. It has to have an actual real connotation to it because we're working off the energies of everyone who touched it. You see? And when you deal with fake money, I mean, like, who all touched it? You know, when you deal with real money, so if I'm going to do some money work, I'm going to burn an actual $20 bill and take the ashes from it and use it to enhance whatever I'm doing. That's just my personal preference how we do it in Swamp Water Roots. Any more questions? If you're burning money, how can you grow money? It never made sense to me. Well, the thing about burning the money is what you do, like a simple work for money. Like you take the money, you consecrate it in different ways. You take the $20 bill, you consecrate this $20 bill in different ways. You write specific things, draw specific seals and symbols on this $20 bill. All right? You pray on it, you pray on it, you pray on your ancestors on it. You might even take it to one of your ancestors' grave and bury it for a specific amount of time. Okay? Then you bring it back home. Then you burn it and you take the ashes of the money into the river. Why? What's the logic behind that? All of the work that you did was building up the energy of the messages that you were sending. I need this money for whatever purpose these seals for, whatever purpose these prayers I wrote on it for, whatever purpose the prayers that I chanted over it was for. You did all of these things to charge, empower the bill as an actual amulet. Okay? So that dollar bill became an amulet. Okay? And guess what you did with the amulet? You burnt it. Doing what? Releasing the energy out into the universe. Put it in the ocean to your water spirits. And they'll take it all out there to the universe and take your prosperity and put it everywhere amongst the universe so everybody can see. So the prosperity can flow right back to you. You see? From a spiritual perspective, yes. Should ancestor ought to be placed in the bedroom? Queen of the Crossroad, make sure you send me an email, the medicemail21@gmail, so I can add you to my Discord group. Once again, I have a private Discord group, and we're going to be doing a lot of things like building ancestral altars and stuff like that. So it's medicemail21@gmail. Send me an email, tell me you want to join a private Discord group, and we'll get y'all in there. And because we're going to be having some awesome classes coming up soon. Y'all give me 2 weeks. Give me 2 weeks. And we're going to have some awesome classes out there. I'm still doing some promotions and stuff for the book. If you haven't got the book, it's a very great basic understanding to the concepts of root working, the history of root working, where it comes from, how we think. And it's a general perception on that. You know what I mean? So you can get a good basic view on how we think, how to think like a root worker. What are some of the concepts that we actually have? You know, and some of the similarities between different types of root workings from different areas. So the book, Working in Roots, would be a great addition to those who seeking a basic understanding of root working, at least from the low country perspective, because Hoodoo is so vast. Trust me, it's vast. Can you do spells on regular playing cards? Yes, you can. We teach that over here. Yes. Working with the playing cards is more than doing readings. You can do readings with playing cards. You also can do work with them. Yeah. The email in the chat, yeah, I definitely put the email in the chat. It's medicemail21@gmail. When I get offline, I'll definitely get in there and type it in for you guys, all right, when I get off. So I don't want to stay on long. I don't like making long videos. But this, I think we shared a lot of information here today. It's more like a class, a semi class. Only thing I wasn't demonstrating nothing too much, but it's all in love, y'all. I just love to see y'all learn and ask questions and yeah. Oh yeah. Lydia, you know I need you to eat healthy now. Cut it out. You know I need you healthy. So don't be asking me about if you need to be healthy, because I need you to be healthy. All right? So get it right now. Y'all send me the email. I'll post it down in a link. I'm doing readings today. If anyone want a reading, definitely if you watch this video, I'll give you a reading for half price. Definitely. Since I'm bored today, I need to call up some spirits, some guardians, and have some interesting conversations in here today. So while I'm sitting here, I do have one reading I need to do, but definitely, y'all hit me up, man. If you need a reading or you want some consultations about anything, email me, medicemail21. I'll post it Yeah, of course. I do work, Ronald, at the crossroads. We do work at various places: crossroads, rivers, mountains, forests, cemeteries, backyard, junkyard. Do work at the wells. I miss well other place I miss. We do work anywhere. Anywhere it's necessary. You know, if you got to climb a tree, put to hang your work up in the tree, and so be it. It has to happen because the sacrifice, the level of sacrifice that you make by taking your offerings to specific places is greater. Trust me, is just a whole lot greater than it's just a whole lot greater than anything else. You know what I mean? It's just great, the level of sacrifice. But anyway, this medicine man, do I do cleansing, plain James, bath and body? Yes, ma'am, I do cleansings. If you want to speak with me about anything, please email me at medicinemale21 at gmail, and definitely I'll be answering all these emails real soon. My number is on my page. If you guys could call me, hey, give me a call. Don't call me while I'm live, please. Um, but definitely give me a call. Hit me up. Email me. The classes are coming soon. The book is out. Working Them Roots. You know, a guide to learning some basic concepts about ancestral hoodoo and working your stuff. In my class, we will be going over a lot of things from building altars all the way to developing your own mediumistic abilities. So I appreciate the time that you guys gave me today, and we will be back at it. I'll be on YouTube more because I'm off Facebook for 2 weeks. So I'll be on YouTube more, spreading some information, kicking it with you guys, answering questions, and just doing the whole nine. All right, this is Medicine Man. Peace. Y'all have a great day.